Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Daffa Devara. I am from Class 11 from High School SMAN 25 Bandung. I'm here to explain to all of you about narrative text. Narrative text consists of definition and purpose, structure, various of narrative text, and for the last one, I'm gonna read some example of narrative text for all of you. Okay, so what is a narrative text? Narrative text is a type of a text that tells a chronological story in the past tense. The other definition of narrative text is a story with complication or problematic events, and it tries to find resolutions to solve the problem. And the purpose of the narrative text is to amuse or to entertain the reader with a story. The narrative text can be fictional or non-fiction. Okay, now we're gonna learn about the structure of the text. The structures consist of 4 parts. The first one is orientation. Orientation means introduction. So in the first paragraph of the narrative text, usually it contains those of characters and settings that are complicated in the contents of the story. In this case, the setting can be the scene as well as the time of the story. In the early paragraphs of narrative text, it usually contains the introduction of the characters and setting involved in the story. In this case, the setting can be the scene as well as the time of the story. Second, the complication. The section will begin to enter into paragraphs that tell about the initial problem of an event or event. Complications are divided into 3 conflicts, namely 1. Natural conflict or between universes. 2. Social conflict between characters or actors. 3. Psychological conflict, inner conflict or self. There's a composition in complication. First one is problem, which is a paragraph or a sentence that begins to lead to the problem of a story. The second one is conflict. The conflict becomes more complex. After there is a problem, the story will continue to conflict. In this section, the audience will be curious about what happened between one character and another. And then the last one is the climax. This climax, namely the peak of the conflict, which is the main focus in the narrative text. But in Indonesian, there's something called anticlimax. In Indonesian, this part is usually referred to as conflict reduction. So the conflict will decrease slowly. And the last one, not the last one, but the third one. This is the resolution. Resolution is the end of the story or the conclusion of the story. This paragraph can be a further explanation of the solution. The solution was shown in the previous structure, the complication. And then the last, the reorientation, the fourth one. Okay, this one isn't required in narrative text. However, generally the sentence in this paragraph will tell about the final condition of the character in the story. Or it can also contain lessons and moral messages that can be taken by the reader. Okay, so there's various types of narrative text, such as 1. Fairy tale or folklore. This one you must be known about it, since we'll learn about it a lot, especially when we're in the elementary school, such as Sikamayan. 3. Legend, we know about it a lot as well, such as Takuban Parahu. Myth. 5. Science fiction such as Star Wars. Romance, there's a lot of romance such as narrative text. 7. Horror stories. 8. Fable such as Si Kancil, if you know it. 9. History, 10 slice of life. And 11. Personal experience, or personal experience can be called as narrative text as well. Okay, so the next part is the language features. First, narrative text using part action verb. Narrative text using specific noun as pronoun of person, animal in the story. Third, using adjectives which are for noun phrases. Fourth, using time connectives and conjunctions to arrange the event. 5. Using adverbs and adverbial phrases to show the location of events. 6. Using dialogue to elicit an emotional response from the reader. 7. Using past tense, this is obvious. 8. Using a variety of simple, compound, and complex sentences. 9. Featuring a specific character. Okay, now I'm gonna read all of you about the example of narrative text. The story was called The Rabbit and the Turtle. One day, a rabbit was boasting about how fast he could run. He was laughing at the turtle for being so slow. Much to the rabbit's surprise, the turtle challenged him to a race. The rabbit thought that this was a good joke and accepted the challenge. The fox was to be the umpire of the race. As the race began, the rabbit raced away ahead of the turtle, just like everyone thought. The rabbit got to the halfway point and could not see the turtle anywhere. He was hot and tired and decided to stop and take a short nap. All this time the turtle kept walking step by step. He never quit no matter how hot or tired he got. He just kept going. However, the rabbit slept longer than he had thought and woke up. He could not see the turtle anywhere. He went at full speed to the finish line but found the turtle there waiting for him. From this story we can learn about the moralism that we should not underestimate anyone else and we should not be too prideful about ourselves. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you for your attention. Hope this is helpful for you who's watching these videos. I'm sorry if there's any mistake that I've made. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.